Hi, today I will be talking about narcissism. Narcissism is a very commonly used term these days. So, let us try to understand how this term originated and who used it for the first time and what is an interesting story behind this. Okay, narcissism, let us understand very quickly what does this term exactly mean. It is a self-centered personality style having an excessive interest in one's own physical appearance or image and like too much of preoccupation with one's own needs, often at the expense of others. This last part is to be reflected on. See, if you go to see, in each and every person certain amount of narcissism is there, because we all like when others praise, and we we try to impress others, we want to be good, and we want to look good. So that's a very normal thing for the human beings. There's nothing wrong in that. But when it becomes too much of an absorption, and the obsession ranges actually from normal to abnormal. So, when this expression becomes abnormal, such persons become totally self absorbed, and they may end up in a pathological illness like NPD, that is narcissistic personality disorder. The term narcissism was coined by Roman poet Ovid in his Latin narrative poem Metamorphoses, written in the year 8 AD. And Metamorphosis is actually considered as Ovid's magnum opus, because this poem actually chronicles the history of the world right from its creation, how it originated, how it was created, to the deification of, Julius Caesar. And I hope you know what is deification. Deification is the action of making someone or something, some ordinary thing, into a god. See, Julius Caesar was a mortal, right? He was made like God. So that is deification. If you go to South, you will see. And there are a lot of temples built in the name of actors and actresses, and daily puja archanas take place there. So that is deification. Just, in the lighter way. All right. Now, this poem actually comprises of, or it contains 250 myths, 15 books, and 11,995 lines. Okay, this is one of the most influential work in Western culture, I would say. It has inspired many such authors like Dante Alighieri. You must be knowing one who wrote Inferno, not the recent times, the old one I'm talking about, okay? And Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer is called the father of English poetry. He is famous for his Canterbury Tales. Many of you might have read also. And of course, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare though needs no introduction, so you all know about him, right? So numerous episodes from the poem have been depicted in the, not only in literature, but in the works of sculpture and paintings and music and everywhere. So that is that powerful. Book 3 of this poem, Metamorphosis, tells the mythical story of a handsome young man whose name was Narcissus. Now, this Narcissus rejects the advances of many beautiful and potential lovers. The whole drama begins when he rejects the most beautiful, elegant, and gentle nymph named Echo. Now, this Echo was cursed only to repeat the sounds of the last part of what others spoke. For some reason, gods had taken away her power of expression. She couldn't speak anything. She couldn't speak her mind out at all. I'll be telling you that story, soon. So, she falls in love with, then what happens when he rejects this nymph? Gods punish Narcissus by making him fall in love with his own image, his own self, in a pool of water. When Narcissus discovers that the object of his love cannot love him back, okay, he slowly pines away and then dies. In Greek mythology, now I'm coming to the details of the story. In Greek mythology, Echo was an Oread who resided on Mount Cithaeron. Now, Oreads are the nymphs who live in the mountains. Okay. Zeus loved consorting with beautiful nymphs and often visited Earth. Now, who is this Zeus? Zeus in Greek mythology is a godhead, who is like our Indra. In our mythology, we have Indra. Indra also loves, going behind women, and anybody is beautiful, he feels like, consorting with them and all. So the similar character over here. Now Zeus had a wife whose name was Hera, and Hera was a good lady, and she loved her husband, and she was in the bounds of her marriage. She was not going around flirting with anybody. Well, this Zeus used to visit the earth. Eventually, Zeus' wife Hera, she became suspicious and came from Mount Olympus in an attempt to catch Zeus red-handed with the nymphs. Okay, so Echo was constantly trying to protect Zeus because he had ordered her. He's a godhead, na? So he had ordered this nymph, keep an eye, anybody can come, so distract them. So that was the instruction given. So poor thing, she was trying to distract her and all that, but ultimately Hera got furious when she discovered that what Zeus was doing. Every minute she was about to catch Zeus, and this nymph would divert her mind and talk something else, and then Hera would lose a track and Zeus would escape away. That was what happening to them. So Hera made her only to speak the last word spoken to her. So when Echo met Narcissus and fell in love with him, she was unable to tell him how she felt for him and how much she liked him, and she was forced to watch him and fall in love with himself, and she saw him even crumbling to his own self-absorption. Now in Metamorphosis, the poet Ovid tells the story of this Hera. Hera is a Greek mythology name. In Roman mythology, the same character is called as Juno. Juno is the name. And the jealousy she felt for her husband Zeus. Zeus is again in Greek mythology. In Roman mythology, they call him Jupiter. And how he had many affairs. And Juno is actually a very interesting character in Greek mythology. Some other time I'll be talking more about her. She is in the Roman mythology, she is a daughter of Saturn and wife of Jupiter and mother of Mars. So this is how actually Echo got curse from goddess Hera. Echo was very smooth talker, she was eloquent, she was verbose, and she couldn't convince anybody into anything. She spoke beautifully, but because of the curse, she was unable to speak her mind out. The curse was that she will not be able to speak anything but only repeat the few last words of what others speak. So that was the curse. Thus cursed Echo falls in love with Narcissus when she sees him in the forest when he comes to hunt deers along with his companions. Now what happens is, like, she knows her curse, she cannot talk. As soon as she saw him, it was love at first sight. She really went head over heels, and she said, no, I have to get this man, but whatever it may cost me, that kind of a thing. So she silently follows him because she is unable to tell also what she will talk. When somebody says she can repeat, she cannot talk anything on her own, right? So she was silently following him. And he was, Narcissus was very handsome, very fair, tall, robust, and very inviting. So she was so infatuated that she started following him wherever he went. The more she looked at this young man, the more she longed for him. No, that was her feeling. Though she wished with all her heart to call out Narcissus, but Hera's curse didn't allow her to do so. So ultimately, during the hunt, what happens is Narcissus got separated from his companions and called out, if anyone is there, if anyone there. This nymph heard, she started only repeating the last word, there. And Narcissus was startled, he was baffled, like he said, what is it, like, who is she? So who is calling me out like that, there, like, who is pointing out? So then he answered for that voice, come here. And again, that voice also started here, here, come here, come here, sometimes come here, and sometimes here. So when Narcissus saw that nobody had emerged from the glade, he concluded that the owner of the voice, or whoever is giving him answer, must be running away from him because of some, she must have got frightened and she's running away. So finally he shouted, "This way, we must come together." So she could repeat only "come together, come together." So that started ringing in her mind. So she conquered ecstatically, like, "We must come together, we must come together." And she rushes to him and, thinking that this is an invitation from the young man. She's already in love with him. He doesn't know who is she. So she throws her arms around his neck and then she, हम लोग बोलते हैं ना गले पड़ना, so गले पड़ जाती है. So she goes and hugs him. But he despises her because he doesn't even know who the hell is she. He said, "What is this? Like, just Shan, go away." And, before you court me or before you have me, it's better that I die. So she says, "Die, die, die." Only the last word she repeats. Actually, Narcissus was appalled by her advances and he spurns her away. And he exclaims, "Hands off, hands off. May I die before you enjoy my body." Then she only hears that last part, "Enjoy my body, enjoy my body." So she just, having done so, she advances herself, and having done so, she fled and scorned and humiliated and ashamed. She feels very bad about her plight. Despite the harshness in his rejection, Echo's love for Narcissus only grew. This is another interesting thing. So when Narcissus died, actually wasting away before his own reflection, consumed by love that could not be, that could not come back to him, Echo mourned over his body. So when Narcissus, looking at his own reflection in the pool, he said, "Oh, marvelous body, I loved you in vain. Farewell." Echo also started only repeating those last words. She chorused, "Farewell, farewell," she chorused. Eventually, Echo too began to waste away. Her beauty faded, her skin got shriveled, and her bones turned to stone. So, like today, only everywhere, only her, what remains is the sound of her voice, that only she repeats only the last part of whatever is doing. Now I'll tell you, you must be now relating to it. When all of us were small children and all, whenever we went out or, went to a plateau or a mountain place, so what we used to do, call out each other's name and hear that echo. So that's the same echo I'm talking about. Isn't it interesting? Well, by now you must have rightly guessed, yes, I will be making a series on narcissism. It's a wide but, very interesting topic. It will be actually, we may be dealing with these narcissists in the form of our spouse, our parent, our boss, our children, our friends, our colleagues, anywhere and everywhere. So we may just feel that these are some difficult people, because that's another fancy term people use. "Oh, she's a very difficult person. You are very difficult." So difficult people, we use that term. So, but all difficult people are not narcissists. Narcissists have a typical classical pattern of behavior. So I'll be discussing them slowly, about everything. But it's a very nice topic for me. I actually enjoy studying human behavior and human mind and everything. So whatever I get to know, I want to share with others. That is the reason for this, this video. So watch for the updates, subscribe to my channel so you will get the instant notification. So watch out for my series, and I'll bring some interesting stuff to you. So bye for now. Thank you.